almost everything which were physical are now almost digital. But if you look at this journey, the topmost layer of digitization is something called cognition. Okay? So this cognition term you will not get in dictionary, but I keep on using.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Today it is an honor and a pleasure for me to introduce you all to this very particular session where we are going to know more about digital banking. My name is Harsh and I'm going to moderate this session for all of you wherein I'm going to introduce you all about session and perhaps the person who is going to interact and address all of us. First of all, I request you all to kindly acknowledge and welcome the presence of our esteemed guest, Mr. Utpal Chakraborty, who is here with us. I would like to request all the person, those who are watching this session on YouTube, to kindly upload in the comment section and welcome the presence of our esteemed guest. Our guest, Mr. Utpal Chakraborty, currently holds the position of Head of Artificial Intelligence at Yes Bank. Mr. Chakraborty is an eminent data scientist, AI researcher, and thought leader with more than 2 decades of industry experience, including as a principal architect in Larsen and Turbo Infotech, IBM, Capgemini, and other MNCs. His recent research on machine learning, titled Layered Approximation for Deep Neural Networks, and his book Artificial Intelligence for All and Artificial Intelligence and the Fourth Industrial Revolution, has been appreciated at several conferences, institutions, and universities. He has also demonstrated a few out of the box hybrid, agile, and lean implementation in different industries. So, first of all, sir, I welcome you to in this session. Thank you so much for joining and agreeing to share your thoughts with us.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. It's our pleasure. So, moving to the topic of today's session, which we have chosen, is how AI use is attracting customers towards digital banking. The world is fast evolving with artificial intelligence at the forefront in changing the world and the way we live. So, my very first question to you is how actually artificial intelligence is attracting customer towards digital banking.
Yeah, so I think the focus. So let me start with something called, see, digitization. We have already started the digitization journey in all the industries, right? So, and almost everything which were physical are now almost digitized. But if you look at this journey, the topmost layer of digitization is something called cognification. Okay, so this cognification term you will not get in dictionary, but I keep on using this term, and I will explain what exactly it is. So it is essentially the how to bring that human intelligence or human cognition into your digitization process. Okay, so bringing that intelligence into the normal digitization process is called cognition, and that is the topmost layer of digitization, and which is the core focus of all the industries today. Okay, so may it be banking and finance, or healthcare, medicine, or retail, or any industry for that matter. So the core focus is now on bringing the cognification or the intelligence into the systems. Okay, and rather than doing the normal digitization, the digitization was there, and and almost all the services are now digitized. Now coming to banking and finance, as you said, like in digital channels, right? So definitely during this pandemic also we have seen. So now there is a huge focus on essentially the digital channels, okay, and rendering more and more services into the digital channels. So it could be your net banking, it could be mobile banking, could be your chatbots, WhatsApp banking, or any kind of voice banking today, like rendering the banking services into voice channels. So this is the core focus of the banking and finance industries today. And if you look at the other industries also, it is the same, right? Because it has been now a proven fact that the services that we thought cannot be digitized, okay, are now digitized. So anything and everything can be digitized. Hardly there is anything which cannot be digitized. So benefits of putting those services into digital channels is number one, these are available 24 by 7, right? So you don't require a human intervention, having a working hour. So now these things are available 24 by 7, and anybody can access it at any point of time without any kind of interruption. Second thing, it is also cost effective. Okay, so when you provide those kind of services, once you do that, so definitely it is kind of a you are saving a huge cost. Okay, so availability is one factor, cost is another factor, then efficiency. Okay, so once you digitize those services and render into your digital channels, and once it is well tested, definitely, I think it becomes much more efficient than human, because human are subject to doing mistakes, okay, subject to doing make any kind of errors, all those things. But here it is not the case. So that's the reason now there is a huge focus on rendering all services into digital channels, whatever is possible. And this is not only true for banking and finance, but it is true for any industry. And going forward, you will see after this pandemic, you will see almost everything that are left out in the physical space. You will see those are digitized after few months or after few years, because it is now completely proven that anything and everything can be digitized. Okay, probably the way of doing it is will be a little bit different. The support that is required for that is a little bit different, but it is possible.
Indeed, sir. I think you have very briefly explained. You have explained what actually is digitalization and how it is impacting the actually not only banking sector but all the sector, and how this pandemic has impacted, how this pandemic has fostered the digitalization in almost every industries. In this pandemic, people understand the need of digitalization. Why is it important? Sir, my next question to you is. If we talk about in banking sector, is security still concern for further growth of digital payments?
So, security as a whole is a prime focus for any banking and finance industry. Okay, so it's a prime focus on that. But on a larger scale, if you look at, as and when, I mean, we are digitizing more and more services, or in fact we are putting more and more digitization into our ecosystem, the we are we are actually in one way, okay, the security things becomes more and more important, okay, because normally, as you know, I mean, if I put more and more IoT services into my ecosystem, then the attackers or anybody, I mean, they get a more chance or more space to land their attacks and do any kind of this activities like this thing. But having said that, now now for banking and finance industry, so definitely security is something which is being taken very very seriously, and not only that, because the regulatory authorities or the central banks or RBI in our country, so they also monitor these things in a very in a very strict manner, that anything and everything you build, everything and anything you the service that you give it to the customer, those should be secure enough so that the customer data is protected. Any kind of transactions are protected, kind of thing. And that's why the world is moving towards kind of cognitive security, okay? Or cognitive cyber security category, okay? Wherein we are moving from the conventional way of dealing with security or cyber security to in a more cognitive way of doing that. Okay, so that's why today there are systems which are essentially we call it is kind of a, these are probabilistic models. Okay, like So I can give you an example of how our human immune system works. Okay, and similarly, these enterprise immune systems are now being implemented in many of the banks and financial institutions today, which are AI powered or powered with machine learning. So these are essentially works very similar to our human immune system. So our body or our immune system is been continuously attacked by millions of virus on a day-to-day basis. Okay, virus, bacteria, this, that, and all those things. But our immune system is intelligent enough to fight back those kind of attacks uh, very easily because it understands okay the nature of the attack, whether the attack is happening from the inside or outside or something like that. So it takes kind of a probabilistic approach, okay, to actually first assess the nature of the attack and then it reacts in that way. So in cybersecurity also, the similar kind of approach has been taken using AI machine learning, wherein we call it enterprise immune system. An enterprise immune system basically what it does is it models all your equipment, your users in your entire ecosystem. Okay, so all your computers, all your printers, your mobile devices, your routers, your users. Okay, it models the behavior of this. Okay, what is the normal behavior? So, for example, one employee, what could be his normal behavior? Okay, so in 1 month of time, the model learns what should be the normal behavior of this particular person or this particular device, and it makes a template out of that. And whenever this behavior goes out of the normal behavior, it becomes abnormal. What it starts generating some kind of alert to the administration saying that they see the net, it sends the alert to the network administrator telling that hey, see, this is an activity. Okay, the network activity, some network traffic is coming or some network traffic is going out, which is abnormal, which actually doesn't happen in that way. So automatically it gets an alert and you can take the action out of that. Also, there is something called anti-general, okay, which is essentially something because in many cases probably the security administrator or somebody they will not be able to take any kind of action on that, okay, because probably it is at midnight. Somebody may and it is difficult to monitor 24/7 for somebody. So there are programs available which are also again AI powered, which can automatically cut those kind of malicious connections. Okay, if some attack happens or something happens. So this is about the cyber security part of this. But apart from that, there are many other security like you told, like any kind of payments or any kind of transactions kind of thing. So any fraudulent activities is happening, okay, or any kind of money laundering activities happening. So for that also there are systems, there are AI powered systems which can either. So these are adaptive systems, and it can easily detect any kind of abnormal transactions or any kind of transactions which is suspicious, and it can automatically flag it then and there, saying that hey, you may look at this transaction, it looks a little bit suspicious, okay, or kind of thing. So this security area is actually a versatile area. So there are no single solution or single approach to that. But actually, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning has revolutionized this particular area. Okay, so it has essentially completely revolutionized the area. Because the approach that we were dealing with were mostly rule-based kind of a thing. Okay, and rule-based things cannot work for long because these fraudsters are also maturing. They are also becoming more and more intelligent. So that's why you require an adaptive system which actually understands, which actually can flag normal and abnormal. Okay, can distinguish, and then it can raise kind of an alarm at the right time. Okay, so that is the beauty of this kind of system. Yes.
Indeed, sir. I think it's very hard to disagree with you in this point. You have told the importance of this digital revolution and what are the challenges and how actually AI, IoT, and machine learning is revolutionizing the banking and or rather say almost every sector, and you have told the importance of data encapsulation, and you have focused many important things. And I think the viewers, those who are watching this session, they are surely going to find this insightful. Not only I think, but I do strongly believe this. Sir, my next question to you is: cashless economy, is society ready for this transformation?
Yeah, it is already, I think. It is already because even as far as my knowledge, okay, except for probably some areas, even the rural areas, okay, so most of the um, it is mostly cashless, okay, so it's almost uh, uh, so China is the first country actually which is completely cashless and even cardless. They were completely mobile economy, so their WeChat is something wherein and then you can do anything and everything there. Okay, so we are also heading towards those kind of things, but cards will be there for some time. The plastic money, but yeah, cashless economy, yes, of course, because there are many benefits of that. Okay, so whether when you uh, uh, talk about kind of financial inclusion. Okay, so that is the digital economy actually plays a major role in financial inclusion, and also this kind of cashless things and digital transaction. It helps lot of people. So I'll give you a classic example. Like there are many daily wage or workers who doesn't have any kind of a what do you call salary. They don't take that kind of a systematic salary mechanism or something like that. For example, divers, okay. For example, housemaids. For example, there are in many areas. So they every month probably they earn a decent amount of money, okay. But mostly the transaction happens in cash, right? So we give cash, and the drawback of this is essentially, although they are earning a good amount of money at the end of the month, okay, but they are not eligible for any kind of loan. They are not eligible for any kind of insurance. They are not eligible for any kind of medical kind of thing because they don't have any kind of evidence that they are earning this money. Because everything happens on cash, right? But if you look at probably their income is decent income and which is eligible for getting some kind of a loan or getting some kind of insurance or a medical aid or a health or any kind of this facilities which are available, right? So that's why I mean this is also a big help for them. If we do all our transactions, if the whole transaction becomes digitized, right? There is no cash in between. Okay. So first of all, this huge amount of huge number of what do you call workers, okay, who are working, and because of this physical transaction system, they don't have anything. They will get the most benefit out of that, and that again in terms helps in what do you call the inclusion, okay, economic inclusion kind of thing, and Mm, there are other benefits also. Okay, benefits like mostly if the transactions are in that way, so there are very less chances that different things like corruption, money laundering, different other things. Okay, so these illegal things will happen very less. I mean, it will be very less, okay, compared to if you do physical kind of things. So also, it is very secure also in some way. Okay, if the security measures taken are rigorous, then I think that is also secure. So in that way, and whether it is going to happen or not, no, I mean it is already started and it is happening because I know in villages and all those things, where people prefer now to do this transactions because they have also understood some way the benefits of doing digital transactions and getting their money into their bank. Okay, and I think our current government has done a brilliant job. I mean, giving all money directly to the accounts of the what do you call our farmers and all those things. So this is a brilliant work. I would say I should appreciate our government for that.
Indeed, sir. Again, it was a quite insightful answer from your side. Sir, I have one very interesting question. Is that career opportunities in banking sector? Where are we now, and what is the future?
So entire banking system probably I will not be able to comment on because I am again a technology kind of a person, and my area
Sir,
of expertise
if
and my area
if
of focus is
sir,
in
if we
one
take
area. So I
Sir,
will
if you
talk about I will talk about the
uh,
news and
if I take
technology,
this question, suppose
artificial.
now technology is influencing and entering in this the banking sector, then what are the jobs because of this will
Correct,
be yes.
correct. So I got your question. So I'll answer it in that way. So yeah, definitely there are a lot of opportunities because the good side is the banking and finance industry is very excited, okay, to adopt this kind of technology, and that's why you see like a lot of the banks, they have got their own data science team, they have got their own analytics team, they have got their own digitization team or data engineering team kind of thing. So there are many aspects there. So it start with your normal what do you call your modernizing the application. Okay, so modernizing the old applications into newer gen technologies and all those things. So there also is huge amount um, opportunities for technology guys. Okay. Second thing comes to data engineering part because everyone has understood today that data is kind of a gold mine or data is kind of oil. Okay, so everyone wants to build a comprehensive data ecosystem so that actually they can leverage the power of data by running analytics on top of that, advanced analytics on top of that. So every organization, including banking and finance, understood. So there are huge opportunities on data engineering part of it, people working on data engineering, or the people working on distributed data systems like Hadoop and all those things, or any kind of data lake kind of thing, or warehouse building, or analytics people running analytics on top of that. So that is another. Now, coming to the AI and machine learning, the core AI and machine learning. So there are multiple streams there. So there are normal machine learning, statistical machine learning using R and all those things. So those are definitely required for any kind of analytics, advanced analytics. So now the modern analytics is powered by your machine learning models. So they are implementing those models to give some kind of predictive and prescriptive analytics is a hot area, and there are a lot of opportunities. Then coming to the other areas of machine learning like deep learning. So somebody may be interested in computer vision. So there are use cases now. Many of the banks are working on computer vision, face detection, liveness detection, some kind of document processing using those kind of some kind of image analytics, video analytics, some kind of monitoring systems, okay, real-time monitoring systems, doing video analytics and all those things. Those things are also there. Then on the customer care stage, guiding the customer, monitoring the customer care quality, okay, through some NLP models, and also looking at any kind of cross-sell, upsell opportunities within the conversation of that customer care executive and the customer. Those of solutions are also there. So these are some of the skills. So within AI and machine learning also, there are actually, if you look at specific skills, and if somebody can acquire those kind of skills, I think there are a lot of opportunities there. And coming to a little bit of non-technical, although I'm not an expert on that, but I would like to talk a little bit on those. See, SMEs are also very important today for any kind of. So if you want to build any kind of news and technology, AI, machine learning, blockchain, whatever it is, right? You as a technology person, you will not be able to build it completely. Okay, so you require definitely people from the business who not only business. I mean, it is kind of a SME. They are subject matter experts on that particular area. Okay, so if you are building something on probably wealth management, also you require somebody who is very good at wealth management, who understands the nitty-gritty of it, or if you are building something on loans or anything on credit card or something like that. So these people also have a huge demand. Okay, and those kind of things are always complementing the technology team. Okay, because technology team cannot work without the help of this. So there is a huge opportunity for those people who are exploring those kind of opportunities. And those people are normally techno-functional kind of people. So they have understand of technology, although they are not expert in technology. Probably they will not be able to do coding or architecting or anything, but they understand, okay, the power and the possibilities and what do you call what are the advantages and disadvantages of that particular technology. But at the same time, they have got a strong hold on their own domain. Okay, so those people also have a good future in banking, and those are booming fields.
Indeed, sir. Again, it was a quite insightful answer from your side, and I think it's a kind of privilege today we got to hear all those things from you. And sir, it was a very healthy discussion with you on the topic. Thank you so much, sir, for joining and giving your important time. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so
On the
much.
ground is where I stand. Never give up, that was always the plan. It's so cold outside, I'm alone